the war season is over, and I didn't really make very many war videos this season. I made one war, I made one fight. I was just really busy for the last month. Didn't really have the time or the energy to do it. But I did record all of my fights, both in 4 Loki and in SXX. And I died a lot this season. So I have created for all of you fine people a buffet of misery. I'm going to show you every fight that I died to. Because let's not lie, that's why people come to the channel. All right. So first up, we have Absman against a Node 26 Mystic Spidey. Now, this is a fight that I have done in previous seasons. It is not an easy fight. This is not an ideal assignment. Conflictor and whatnot can't really parry this guy. Absman gains buffs. That's always a problem. But it is a fight that I've done before. And so here in our war against Nath, the Elite War Alliance Nath that doesn't manipulate matchmaking whatsoever, I'm doing this fight with Absman. And so far it's fine. It's your typical sort of clincher wherein I'm going to throw mediums and then back up, but I get myself pinned against the wall against this dude. And I'm about to do what I really don't want to do, which is push this guy all the way up to a special 2, because generally speaking, if he's going to throw a special 2, you're going to die. Okay, so the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I'm going to go back into this fight again with Absman, and I'm going to try and, prove to everyone that this was a perfectly fine assignment that I made. Spoiler alert, it was not. It was not a good assignment. And I'm going to end up dying twice to this Mystic Spidey in our war against Nath. Now, the good news is that Nath absolutely sucks. They're a trash alliance full of trash people who are a bunch of cheaters and hopefully get banned into the Stone Age. It ended up not costing us a war because we easily beat Nath because they had something like 35 deaths or something against us. I don't know. Not even I am bad enough to lose to Nath. So I guess there's that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I at least dex part of it. Oh, man. This is just rough. I lose the form. Whew. What was I thinking here? Good golly almighty. Probably should have sped this up. I'll speed up some of the other fights. Don't you worry, folks. But, prolonged misery is a joy. I haven't watched this in so long, and I forgot how bad it is. Oh, God. Why do they let me in Tier 1 war? Oh, atrocious. All right. So, still in the Nath war, I made 2 really bad assignments. The first one was the Mystic Spidey on 26 that I tried to muscle with Absman. The other one is this Gore on Node 50. Now, in the off-season, I had fought Gore with Absman. It was perfectly fine, but it wasn't on Node 50. And the problem that we have here for Absman is the regeneration. You're going to do a lot of damage bursting, with your form. That is true. But the problem is that the extra 200% to the regen is just not enough for Absman with the safeguard. And so in this very first fight, I just play really, really poorly. As you can see, obviously I'm getting hit, I'm getting wrecked. I'm not getting out of the way of his attacks. I've now pushed him to a special 3, and he is going to throw it, and that is going to end me there. Yes, this is my 3rd death against Nath. Oh my God. Guess what, ladies and germs? I've got a 4th death in me. That's right, because I'm going to go back in with Absman because I am determined, once again, to prove that I'm right. But even my buddy John knows that I am, in fact, the worst when it comes to planning. And so I ended up timing out in the second attempt here. 4 deaths, 1 war. Good job by me. All right, next we're going to move on to the Mommy Short Arms account at SXX. I'm using Hulkling against Node 46 Zemo, and I get 100,000 crit through block. Yep, that was fun. All right, next up we're going to go on to a new war. Here, 4 Loki is facing Noon. This is Path 2A, the second fight. And I, for reasons that I can't really understand, decide to go into this fight with Miguel. The big problem here is that Scorpion is immune to ruptures when he's on defense. So there's absolutely nothing that Miguel can do here against this Scorpion. And I'm going to fight this dude for a very, very long time to basically try to, not get Scorpion to death. And I almost pull it off, but at the end here, you're going to see that, all the Scorpion bullshit of him evading, counterattacking, and then blowing you the hell up. Yeah, that's going to happen. So, I built to a special 3 to put a slow on him, try and stop his evading. That was my hope. I took a bunch of power sting damage from that. I've got all these poisons on me. So I'm trying not to throw a special because I have all those poisons on me. Oh, man. I should have done this fight as a Sunspot nuke. He was on my team this particular war. I don't know why in my head I went in there with Miguel. I even on my sheet wrote down Sunspot, but I went in with Miguel just because I'm dumb. I think it's probably because I was flying and in an airport when this happened, and I just wasn't thinking straight. Yeah, who knows? I suck anyway. All right, 4 Loki is facing me and SSX. I had boss duty against MP Blaze's Mantis, and I'm going to use my 7-2 Sunspot. The goal here is just to nuke her. Special 1, Special 2, power back boost, and that's all she wrote. Sunspot was global, and so there would be some effect here. But she is super special 1 happy. So I throw my special, and I don't kill her. I'm building back up, and she's going to throw a big fat special 3. Yeah, there I am dancing it out. Woo! And I didn't use an indestructible use. I had used the Power Star 1 boost because, again, I was looking to get special damage. But I've run out of flames. I'm about to be tranquilized. I'm hoping that I can kill her here with this special 2, and I can't. So I throw the special 1 to try to avoid the tranquilize sleep, and instead I just throw it into block. She shoots up to a special 3 because of the global. And that's all that Sunspot wrote. Just a terrible fight by me. Again, I'm not showing you any of my good fights this season. There's no fun in that. I'm just showing you the bad stuff. Okay. Kindred. Oh my God. I must have fought Kindred 30 times this season. You can't fight Kindred 30 times in a season. In Tier 1. But I fought him, it felt like, every war in both 4 Loki and an SXX with my Warhawk. I really got the rhythm of this fight down. I really understand this fight, but that doesn't mean I'm going to execute the fight. So here, this Kindred is on node 53. The rationale for placing Kindred here is that he's Incinerate immune. So even in a season like the one we just had where Torch is available, you couldn't really use Torch in this particular fight. A lot of people used Shuri, and other options. I was fine using Roll. Where I made a mistake is that I didn't use a Power Start 1. So when I got Kindred down to the 5% root, I had no way of getting out of it, and I'm just going to get degen to death. Doesn't help that I eat a few special 1s, but yeah, you can see that, the root puts me in place, ensures I degen to death. That was a mistake in planning. I should have used the PS1. All right, now we're back on the Clown account, the main account, and we have this Sauron on node 22. Sauron was a global defender. I fought Sauron in both alliances with Miguel. Miguel was a great counter to the global because the Wither really interacted well with it. Basically, any power that they would gain from Prowess would be reversed by the Wither. The problem in this fight, as you have seen, is that I lose the Wither. I lose the Wither because I get a debuff on me, and that messes with the ability accuracy of the node. So now I've got to somehow get up to another special 2 to get the Wither without dying. I push Sauron all the way to a special 3 because I'm hoping to power drain him, right? And it works, and I'm doing fine until rip, I can't dex the SP1. So it was a sloppy fight. I almost pulled it out, but I deserved what I got. All right. Now we're going to have some more Carl failure. DLL's really going to slap me around when I see him in person in Vancouver. But here I am fighting on the Mommy Short Arms account a Doom on node 26. This was a node that absolutely bedeviled me this season. And yeah, so the first attempt at this fight is just a mess. I am doing fine until right then, and I lose my form. I have no power. He's throwing special 1s. I'm dancing around until the aura goes away. Now I'm just going to take some damage from the bleed. Unfortunately, he hits me with a special, and he's still... I finally get to a special 1, and he resists it. So here I am in the corner just getting slapped to death. And yeah, now I need a special 3 from Doom. And that is going to be pretty much all she wrote. Yeah, just a really bad fight. The cleanup, by the way, went spectacularly. It took about 2.5 minutes, but I think I finished at 95% health. So, great job, Clown. All right, the very next fight here is I'm going into this Mysterio here, and not great. Just not great. So, I didn't really play this well at all. I did do this fight 2 other times during the season with Carl and didn't have any problems. This one, however, I couldn't keep my form up. When we see me dying with Carl this season, it's generally because of my inability to do so. I think I had War 12, War 11. I did this fight with I-Bomb, and what I did is I was just able to push him to special 2s and cleanly do it. Here he's just super heavy happy, gets me out of my form, throwing special 1s, not able to keep him up to special 2s. And yeah, not great. Not great. I end up cleaning this fight up with Omega Sentinel on my team. This fight left a very poor taste in my mouth. So, yeah. Yeah. Whew. This is a depressing video. Oh, oh, man. Speaking of depressing. Okay, so being an SSX, I've watched MP Blaze just destroy maps with Iceman, and I figured, hey, if he could do it, I can do it, right? So we had this really difficult war against HCAR. They had banned Carl, and so, PWF and I, we came up with the Iceman strategy for this fight and several other fights. And up until this point, Iceman was doing great. The thinking here was that he's global. So we'll get some nice power burns. That'll help mitigate the energize effects that is part of Icarus's kit. The other thinking here is that, obviously he's got all the immunities, but Icarus just freaking wrecked me, just absolutely wrecked me. And so then I figured, well, I'll just use Iceman against Wiccan. This was in the planning. And this was an absolutely terrible idea. I mean, I ended up getting him down on the second try. I was really worried that I would have sort of a repeat of the Abs Man against Node 50 Gore, just because once Wiccan starts getting his regen effects, it was just super rough. I mean, look at that health gain there from that regen. Holy cow. I mean, he's back above, 80%. Now he's going to be all the way back up. And I am just struggling here. I didn't want to throw a special 2. In retrospect, I probably should have done that. I probably should have talked to MP Blaze before I tried these stupid fights. Oh, man. I think in retrospect, I probably should have done this path with like a Black Widow Clairvoyant. Oh, man, look at this special 2. Whew. Terrible. All right. This is the same war. And we have here an America Chavez on Node 49. This is a fight that I've done a ton before with Rolk. I have bragged that I don't fear America Chavez. And she wants to punish me for my hubris. She just had really... she had that sort of super aggressive AI that we saw with Mysterio. She's just throwing, heavy after heavy in the corner. And I'm just going to push her to a special 3 and just see if I could just get my life back. I had an invul. The damage I had taken was from the reverb effect. And I was saving up for a special 3. I had it, but she threw the unblockable special 2. And that was all she wrote for Rolk. All right. Over on the Mummy Short Arms account, we have a Kindred on Node 49. Extremely common placement for Kindred. And, this was generally a successful fight for me here. I would use the regen power, the regen gray boost just for the extra healing. What the fight strategy was is that I would just pummel Kindred until, he got his 50 charges and the degen start happening. Then I would just back off until that phase ran out and went on cooldown. Then I would pummel again, and I would save a special for the last 5%. That's the strategy, and it worked fine in most of the fights. There's only one problem here, is that if you do not time the special right for the 5% degen, 5% root, you're going to get rooted. Here I throw it, a little early, and so I'm rooted, and even though I had a huge health advantage, he was down to 1%, I end up dying to the degen. All right, America continues her punishment of me for my ego here on Node 22. I was going to Carl this, and the first attempt went quite poorly. I could not parry to save my life, and it really got me into trouble. I really just, multiple misparries. So even though when I start to, get my rhythm going here, baiting out the special 1, building up power for another special 2, she starts throwing heavy after heavy after heavy, and I'm toast. At this point in time, the fight's over. I know I've lost it. So, yeah. It's a fight that you just know you're gonna, if it doesn't line up, you're in trouble. The second attempt went perfectly fine. Okay, back on the Mummy Short Arms account, another Carl death here to APAC on path 4B. What happens here is that I screw it up. And I get multiple debuffs on me, and APOC goes unblockable, and that's pretty much it. So I put on magma form just to have, the increased energy resistance, and I throw a super late heavy. He hits me with his heavy, then he throws an unblockable special one, because I had that bleed on me. If I don't have that bleed on me, his special's not unblockable. But I have no way of getting rid of these debuffs unless I wait them out. So that was the plan. I'll wait out this poison by hitting it a block. But, he goes back over a bar of power. Now I'm just trying to bide time before he throws a special 2. That's why I'm hitting him here. I'm just waiting for that to go off. He throws that at the last possible second, and that's it for Clown. Oh, man, another multiple death war here. I have another Rolk fight against a Kindred, and the same thing that happened to me before happens to me here. The fight is going absolutely fine until I mistime the special at the 5% root. I just, I have a flashback to prom night, and I throw it too early. So I'll die to the Degen. Oh, man. Eating that special one. Eating 2 special ones. So bad. But even still, the fight's fine until you throw that early, get rooted, and you're toast. So many deaths. But that's the last one of the season, if you could actually believe it. What an awful season. SSX finished 10th in Masters. 4 Loki finished 20th. And I'll see you in the next life chat.